how Muslims pray makes a lot of sense to me. And to be honest, I really think that you need to experience to actually understand it, because I have been married to a Muslim man for 7 years, and one day I just felt really called to pray the way he did it. And after the first prayer, I felt called to actually pray the 5 times per day that Muslims do. So I did that, and after a little over a week, I just felt this huge shift within me, like a peace and calm that I had never felt before. And that got me really curious to why that is. And I started to think about what I had been doing, the wudu, which is how Muslims prepare themselves before going into prayer. They wash themselves in a specific way. And in the past, and even going into the first prayer, I felt like this was like restrictive, and I didn't understand why it needed to be so many rules to connect to God. But after feeling this peace and calm, it made sense. And that is because if we talk about the wudu, they are preparing themselves to connect to God. Before they even connect to God, they are, washing themselves like physically, but they're actually cleansing their energy, cleansing their mind so that they are pure, which means that when you go and do the prayer, of course, you will have a better connection. And you're also soothing your nervous system. Of course, the 5 times per day can feel really overwhelming. But when I thought about it, I was like, 5 times per day, having a schedule, connecting to God makes sense, because some days you might feel like you don't want to, or you don't have the energy. But if you have a structure and a schedule, it will be so much easier to stick to it. And then there's another thing about how Muslims pray that is really special, and that is how they bow down and put their head on the ground, like they're literally connecting to the earth. They're grounding themselves in the prayer 5 times per day, like regulating their nervous system while connecting to Source, to God, reminding them of their purpose, what's important, to stay in gratitude. Of course, if you do this 5 times per day, you're gonna feel this inner calm and peace.